Look at this. When you see Messi score a goal that is literally impossible, you think he's a genius, right? That you're either born with it or you're not. But you are completely wrong. I told you. Messi's craziest power is a secret mindset that anyone can learn. He wasn't supposed to be great. In fact, when he was 11, doctors told him he would never be a pro athlete because a disease stopped him from growing. The dream was literally impossible. So how did this kid, who had to inject himself with needles every single night, become the greatest player of all time? He did it by training his mind with a set of unbreakable rules. He turned his biggest weakness into his greatest weapon. He learned to see the world not as it was, but as it could be. And today we are going to expose the 6 secret rules that turned him into a legend. And I'm going to show you how to use these same rules to literally ace any exam you ever take. This first secret is completely insane. Your biggest weakness is actually your greatest strength. Messi was tiny, like way smaller than everyone else. In a sport like soccer, that should have been game over. He couldn't overpower anybody. He couldn't win high balls, couldn't use force, and this is where it should have ended. But instead of quitting, he used it. Since he couldn't run through defenders, he was forced to learn how to run around them. His weakness literally forced him to create a new style of playing that no one had ever seen before. His low center of gravity, because he was so short, became the foundation for his insane agility. So here's the hack for you. Stop avoiding your weaknesses. Start using them. You think you're a slow reader? Good. That's your new superpower. While everyone else is speed reading and forgetting everything, you're going to become a deep reader. You'll understand things on a level they can't even imagine. You think you're bad at math? No. Your brain just works differently, so use it. Don't just stare at numbers. Draw the problem. Make it real. Toss a wadded-up piece of paper in the trash and calculate the arc. Your weakness is a sign telling you to find a new path nobody else is taking. Champions aren't people without weaknesses. They're people who use their weaknesses to build unbeatable strengths. Rule number 2 looks like you're being lazy, but it's actually a 500 IQ genius move. At the start of a game, Messi just walks around. Seriously, he walks. People thought he was lazy, but his coach revealed the secret. He said, he is not out of the game. After 5-10 minutes, he has the map in his eyes. In his brains, Messi is scanning the entire field. He's building a 3D map of the game in his brain, finding every weakness and memorizing where every player is. So when he finally gets the ball, he's not just playing. He's executing a plan that's already finished. It's a cheat code, and you can use this cheat code right now. Before you start anything, spend 15 minutes walking. Before a new semester starts, spend 1 hour scanning the syllabus for every class. Is the final exam 70 of your grade? Boom! Now you know what to focus on. What topics get the most time? That's the professor telling you what's important. Well, you're building a map of the entire semester. Before you study for an exam, spend 15 minutes just scanning. Skim the summaries. Read the questions at the end of the chapter first. This primes your brain to hunt for the answers. Students just start at page 1 and grind. Champions scan the field, make a map, and then they strike. This will save you so many hours of wasted work. The third mental hack is having a level of focus that is so insane, obstacles literally become invisible. There are entire videos of Messi just not falling down. You see defenders pulling his shirt, kicking him, tripping him. Any other player would dive and cry to the referee. Not Messi. Stumbles, fights for balance, and his eyes never leave the goal. The kicks, the fouls, the chaos, it's just noise his brain filters out. He is completely obsessed with one thing: scoring. This isn't about being tough, about unbreakable focus. The defenders aren't even part of the game. He's playing in his head. So here's the lesson. You need to adopt a goal obsession mindset and stop getting distracted by the fouls. What are the fouls in your life? A boring professor, a terrible textbook, an unfair grade, lazy people in your study group. This is where everyone else gets mad and wastes all their energy complaining. Looking at the referee. The Messi mindset is to make those things irrelevant. professor is boring, doesn't matter. Your goal isn't to be entertained, it's to learn the material, find it somewhere else, watch a video, read a different book, got an unfair grade. Don't waste energy being angry. Figure out what you got wrong and crush the next test. You have to ignore the stuff you can't control and focus only on your mission. Truly obsessed with the goal, everything else disappears. Rule number 4 is simple. Evolve or die. Strategy that makes you win today will make you lose tomorrow. When Messi was young, he was all about insane speed and dribbling past everyone. It was an amazing strategy, but speed is for young players. And any athlete who only relies on speed has an expiration date, and Messi knew it. So instead of clinging to what made him famous, he completely changed his game. His coach moved him to a false 9 position, a deeper playmaker role. His game became less about speed and all about vision and passing. He went from finishing the play to creating the play. He evolved to stay on top. He even said, "The day you think there are no improvements to be made is a sad one." For any player, the study hack is huge. Your study methods have to evolve. In high school, you can just memorize everything with flashcards and win. That's your fast winger phase. But then you get to college and memorizing isn't enough. You have to actually think. So you have to evolve. You have to become a playmaker. You start using harder techniques like forcing yourself to explain ideas in simple words or drawing maps of how concepts connect. Too many students keep using the same old study method that worked in easy classes and wonder why they're failing. Honest about what isn't working and have the guts to change. Your ability to evolve is more important than anything else. The 5th rule destroys the myth of natural talent. Genius isn't a gift, it's a debt you pay every single day with boring, hard work. For years, people called Messi a born genius when he scored goals. But get this, early in his career, he was not a good free kick taker. This wasn't his thing. Today, he's one of the greatest free kick takers of all time. So what happened? It wasn't magic, it was discipline. Teammates talk about how Messi would stay late after every single practice. When all the cameras were gone, he'd set down a bag of balls and just practice free kicks. Over and over and over, this is called deliberate practice. He worked for thousands of hours, making tiny adjustments to how he kicked the ball. His free kicks weren't a gift, they were built. He once said, "It took me 17 years and 114 days to become an overnight success." The study hack is so simple, but it's the one nobody wants to hear. You have to do the boring, repetitive work. Everyone is selling you a study hack or a shortcut. The Messi mindset is about finding glory in the grind. It means you don't just read the chapter. You do 50 practice problems. Then you do 50 more. You do every old exam you can find, not once, but twice. You use spaced repetition flashcards every single day until the information is burned into your brain. Nobody will clap for you when you're solving the 100th practice problem at night. But this is where you win. The magic is in the repetition. Do the boring work. It's the only hack that actually works. The final hack is the fuel for everything else. You have to understand that all this insane discipline comes from one place: love. Even after winning every trophy possible, Messi still plays with the same joy as a little kid in the streets. Does it? Because he loves the game, not for the fame or the money. That's the engine that has let him grind for over 20 years, and he combines that love with crazy humility. He always thanks his teammates, quiet and confident, not arrogant. This is what keeps him willing to learn. Even as the best player in the world, he was humble enough to learn a brand new skill from scratch. He knew he wasn't a finished product. The final study hack is to find the joy and stay humble. First, find your why. If you only study because you're scared of failing, you will burn out. You have to be curious. Find one thing that is cool about your subject. Get obsessed with one person's story. If it's biology, be amazed at how insane the human body is. When you learn because you want to, the work feels different. Second, be humble. You think you're the smartest person in the room is the second you lose. Be the person who asks the stupid question. Ask classmates for help. Go to your professor and try to actually understand what you missed. Plant. Fill a cup that's already full. This combination of passion and humility is unstoppable. Your passion will fuel your discipline, and your humility will make sure you never stop getting better. So there you have it. It's mental hacks that built a legend. Turn your weakness into your superpower. Scan the field before you do anything. Be obsessed with the goal and ignore the noise. Evolve your strategy or you will fail the boring, repetitive work and fuel it all with joy and humility. This isn't just about sports. This is a blueprint for winning at anything. It shows that greatness isn't magic. It's a mindset, it's a process, or a choice. So I am challenging you. Pick just one of these hacks. Apply it this week. Maybe you'll spend 15 minutes mapping out your next study session. Or maybe you'll finally attack that one weakness you've always had with a completely new strategy. Because becoming a legend doesn't start with some giant leap. It starts with one small choice. This is Peak Razor. Build productivity systems that win daily.